In the last video, we talked a lot about one-steps and 4 products that will give you some of the best results for one-step polishes. In this video, we'll concentrate on paint enhancements, and I'll show you 4 of the best products that will give you incredible results there as well. Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. Today, I'm going to share with you what Koch Chemie M302 Microcut Build Hambers Cleaner Polish, Angel Wax's Perfect Polish, and Car Pro Reflect can do for me here at the shop when it comes to paint enhancements. We're going to start the demonstration on the hood of this Jeep. It was taken off the vehicle that was sitting for quite some time. Etching, scratch marks, love marks, overall dullness, and staining. The first thing you want to do before any paint correction, doesn't matter if it's multi-step enhancement or one-step, is to wash and fully decon, which means iron remover and clay as well. I will explain in great detail the difference between a one-step and a paint enhancement, but before I get started, I'd like for you to share what you think the difference is between the two down in the comment section. For this Jeep hood here, we're just going to grab the M302 from Koch Chemie, and I can tell you the Roops, either the DA fine or ultra fine pads, they're excellent for enhancements. Let's talk about the difference between one-step polishes and paint enhancement. On a one-step, you are going to be able to concentrate more on removing some more deeper imperfections. The one-step polishes are a bit more aggressive. They cut and finish compared to the products I choose for enhancements, which solely go after gloss, bringing out the most gloss, because that can actually take your attention away from some of the defects on these painted surfaces. They hardly remove any measurable clear coat whatsoever. In the last video, they mostly removed about 2 or 3 tenths of a mil. That's barely enough to be measured. With an enhancement, you're not going to be able to pick that up at all. With a one-step, you're going to be able to circle back and go after a panel again if you find that you're not happy with the results. With an enhancement, if you want to stay effective and profitable, you're going to just keep moving. You're not going to pay attention to defects in front of you or behind you, if that makes sense at all. You're going to do your crisscross pattern in a nice, timely manner, and you're going to move on and not worry about what's back there. You're just going to bring out as much gloss as humanly possible in that pass. With a paint enhancement, since I'm not going to circle back and go over the panel again and be effective, and also have a speedy trip around the vehicle, you will see me, however, slow my arm speed down a little bit slower than correction speed, giving the pad and the enhancement polish of my choice to do its job, if that makes sense. I will also speed up the polisher slightly. When I polish or do a multi-step or even a one-step correction, the speed will be either between the 3rd and the 4th speed setting, normally at 3.5. When I'm doing an enhancement, I'm going to crank that up to a 4, 4.1, 4.2 tops. I can slow down the polisher and speed it up a bit because I'm not worried about temperature spiking. I'm not going to go back over that panel and over it like you would a multi-step correction, really spiking the temperature and putting that clear coat through a ton of stress. With an enhancement, we'll take our time and speed up that polisher and get all of the cut and finish out of that enhancement product that we possibly can and move on. Moving on is really the key, guys. Staying profitable if you're doing this for a business, and being speedy and effective about it if you're taking care of your own car in your driveway. Here you can see with very little effort at all, we've made a huge difference. Selecting a polish for an enhancement, it is going to depend on the surface, guys. You're going to look for something that will give you the highest gloss. It may not have much cut at all, and it may be a cleaner polish with a bit of surfactant in it. But it's going to be something that finishes down extremely well. That's why they're going to be something a little bit different than a one-step that can cut and finish. These solely concentrate on finishing and bringing out the highest gloss from that panel as possible. There are many out there to choose from. I don't favor one over another. I actually have 4 here, and I'll just reach for whichever one's closer, because I can tell you all 4 that we're going to look at on the test panel are fantastic. I just put some numbers behind what we're looking at with the gloss meter. Now we'll drag the panel outside. You can take a look at the crisp reflection of the tree in the background on the hood that we just put really very little effort into compared to the rest of the panel. So let's jump on to another test panel that is really scuffed up and roughed up. There's no crisp reflection from the work light, and you can see here with the gloss meter, the gloss and reflection is very low, and we're going to change that right here. We have 4 areas masked off, one with Angel Wax Perfect Polish, another with the Built Hammer Cleaner Polish, and we wrote down where we started with gloss, about 78 gloss units, the Cult Chemi M302 Micro Cut, and CarPro's Reflect. Let's start bottom left corner, Angel Wax, and we'll team that up with the Roops DA Fine Pad, one of my favorite combinations. The Angel Wax Perfect Polish, and really all of these are incredible on soft, dark paint jobs to bring out the best clarity and reflection, especially after a cutting process. For enhancements, it's going to be a quick trip around the car, just like I will perform in this test area and then move on and not come back. All of these products, very, very easy to work with, no dusting whatsoever, and extremely long open or cycle times. With the tape removed and the residue wiped off, you can see huge strides and turnaround with just maybe a minute or 2 into this test area. Very, very little effort at all. You'll be able to get around the car quickly with the perfect polish. Let's see the numbers behind what we're seeing. We started at 78. By the way, it should take no longer than an hour, hour and a half to get around the car, a mid-sized sedan, doing a paint enhancement. Any longer than that, you might as well just do a one-step and concentrate more on some of the deeper defects, because it's not quite as effective or cost-effective as well. We're jumping now to 95.9 gloss units. Huge jump. Let's do the exact same thing with all of these test areas and see which one gives us the best finish. Now for CarPro Reflect. We've been using this one here exclusively for enhancements lately. It's been giving us some of the highest gloss available for an enhancement or a light or finish polish. You'll notice the numbers here will be slightly higher than the last section, but we're kind of splitting hairs with all of these because it takes the difference of 4 to 5 gloss units to see any difference with the naked eye. Sure, the gloss meter here can pick very, very minute changes in the finish, but the naked eye, us looking at a car from one to another, if one reads 90, the other one reads 93, 94, we would barely be able to tell the difference. So all of these are going to be fantastic. This one here, the Built Hammer Cleaner Polish, is another one we use often. I mostly will grab this on cars I know have not been taken care of, some that don't get washed for months, haven't ever been corrected, because this one here has a surfactant. It cleans and polishes at the same time. So it will remove old waxes and sealants, a lot of traffic film, and then do its job with very light paint correction afterwards. Once again, a pretty big difference. You can make huge strides with just an enhancement product. Or if you want to get just a little bit more aggressive, a one step that I showed you in the previous video. And we get an average of 96.2 gloss units in this section. And finally, we get to the Kokemi M302. This is a fine cut. In their line, they have a pad with purple striping that goes with it, so you know which pad is best with which correction fluid. If you have a favorite enhancement product, let me know, or let us know down in the comments section what works excellent for you. And yes, again, once more, we have a huge improvement with no measurable clear coat removed from the surface. And this is before protection. So you add your favorite spray coating and you're going to be adding even more gloss units on top of the finish. Let's take some measurements. 96.5 gloss units will be the average in this area. Which one of these enhancement polishes brought out the most gloss and the most crisp reflections out of the four? In this situation, on this test panel, CarPro Reflect is the winner. But I can tell you, these four, and there are even many more you can add to this list, are very effective and can give you incredible gloss. And that is the only thing you're worried about with an enhancement. Gloss, being effective, getting around the car quickly. There will be some defects left behind underneath that correction, but the gloss, believe me, will take the attention away from those defects, and that's what people will see first. This has been Brian from Apex Detail. I hope this helped. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate.